Hi, this is Francis from Easel. Today we're going to be doing a quick Easel tutorial that's going to talk through how to use the Easel Combine feature in tandem with kind of some alignment features to create kind of basic sign outline shapes. And I'm going to do two of them relatively quickly here. I'm just going to kind of talk through everything that I'm doing as I'm doing it. And you can follow along. This is certainly you can just follow the sign shape if those are the sign shapes you're looking for. You can also use these features to create your own sign shapes. It's really up to you. This is just a tutorial about what that would look like and kind of how to think about it as you're creating it. So I'm just going to kind of jump right in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is use two ovals and a rectangle to create a sign shape. And I'm going to start up here in the shape section and add a circle, and then I'm going to click on the bounding box and drag it to adjust it slightly, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on edit and center to material, and that's going to center my oval to the material. I'm then going to grab a square, create a rectangle that's kind of slightly shorter than my oval. I'm then going to click on edit and center to material. All of this is just me eyeballing it. Certainly you could use like exact measurements. You can see the size of these objects to the side, but I'm just kind of eyeballing it for the sake of the video. Again, you can get as specific as you want with it. And then I'm going to grab one more circle and make an oval going this way, just a little bit wider. And then I'm going to click on edit and center to material, make it just a little bit bigger. I have to center it again, just a little bit wider. There we go. And so now I've got three objects overlaid on top of each other. And if we look at the 3D preview, that's kind of the shape that I'm going for. But they're all just kind of individual objects. And so what I'm going to do here is select them all and then click on edit and combine. And this is going to combine them all into one object. So now when I change the cut path, you can see that instead of it's all together instead of just one individual objects with different cut paths. So the rectangle is only kind of where it intersects with the other ovals. And so that's just kind of a very simple sign shape. Now we're going to talk about using the alignment tool and negative depth shapes to create something maybe just a little bit more complex. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of that and start on this next one with a square. I'm going to make my square about this big, and we'll edit and center to material. And center to material is really great because oftentimes when I'm aligning things, I have to select some objects, but not every object. And so moving the square and knowing that it's already at center means I can move it and then select it and move it back to center. And that just makes it easy to work off of. So I'm going to start here again with a smaller rectangle, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can see it just a little bit better. I'm going to adjust it so it's relatively small, and then bring it over and make it a 0 cut depth. And then I'm going to bring it over here to the corner of my square, move it down, and I want it to basically sit in the corner of this space. And certainly you could use your mouse and drag it, but I'm just going to zoom in and then use my arrow keys on my keyboard to adjust it to where I want it. And that's just over a little bit and down a little bit so that that white rectangle is sitting in that corner. I'm then going to select the rectangle, click on edit and copy, and edit and paste to pick up another one of these rectangles. I'll select it and then go to the angle rotation and rotate it 90 degrees. So now it's facing the other direction. I'm then going to grab it and pull it over here and adjust it slightly so that it's sitting in that corner kind of in the opposite direction. And so now we've got a negative space that we've created, and we can kind of visualize that right over here. And then I'm going to add one more component to it, and that's going to be a circle, which is really big, and I'm zoomed in. But we'll just kind of reduce it down to about here, and then change the cut depth to 0. And then what we're going to do is kind of intersect our rectangles slightly to, I'm going to use the arrow keys for this, to kind of create like a circular kind of quarter circle space in between those two rectangles. I don't want it to be too large. Again, I'm just doing this visually, but that's kind of, that's kind of what we're going for right there, if you can see it in the 3D preview. And that's kind of what I'm looking for here. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to take my rectangle and move it. Then I'm going to click and hold, while holding the click, drag over the object. Click on cut and change the cut depth to something other than 0. I'm then going to keep it selected or reselect it if I clicked off it. Click on edit and combine. And so now it's all one shape, and we can see that here. So now I've got that one shape. I can go ahead and click on, keep it selected, click on edit, copy, and edit paste. And I'm going to do that 3 times. Then I'm going to click on my square and click on edit and center to material. So now it's centered again. I'm then going to grab my kind of new shapes that I've created, and I want one essentially in each corner of my square. And then the only other thing that's going to have to happen is I'm just going to have to rotate all of these a little bit to adjust how they're going to sit on my design. So I'll do that really quick. And then again, zooming in, I'm going to get them as close as possible to where I want them. And it should simply be a matter of kind of lining them up there and there. And then again, and I think here the arrow keys work really well for kind of aligning those. And then one more down here, and we'll align them. And then I will, yeah, that looks good. Then we can zoom out, and we've got all of them placed in the corners. So now just to kind of make sure that they're all aligned with each other and looking really clean, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my square again off to the side. Then I'm going to click and drag and select 2 of them. And right up here, there are some alignment tools. I'm going to select this alignment tool right here. And that's going to make sure that they're in the same plane and in one direction. And then I'm going to do that again up here. Just make sure they're kind of aligned with each other. And then you can click on them again, selecting the kind of other 2 corners and click here to align them kind of in the x-axis or the y-axis, but this one's the x-axis, and do it again. And then I can click on my square, click on edit and center to material. And now everything's aligned. I can click on each of my corner pieces, set the cut depth to 0. We can see what the 3D preview is going to look like. And then if I select everything by either clicking and dragging or clicking on edit and select all, I can then click on edit and combine, and now it's one single shape. And that's how you would do that. Again, you can use circles and rectangles to create a variety of shapes. If you see a sign shape you like, you can just kind of grab that sign shape, and using all of these tools, you can create kind of very simple sign shapes. So that's how you do that. Have a wonderful day.
To learn more, head over to easel.com.